Evan Abnett with USTASC. Welcome to USTASC News.
And I'm John Glover. Good morning.
So what we're going to be talking about today is we went to SHOT Show 2016, which is the industry's largest show. It happens in Las Vegas every year. They have everything from tactical equipment to ballistic vests to guns to armor to
first responder type equipment.
Any type of military equipment that you could possibly imagine. Is really a great show, a great learning experience to go through. So we just wanted to go over a couple really neat products and services that we saw at SHOT. So what did you see over there?
Well, I saw everything. I mean, there were thousands upon thousands of different technologies and new things to see. But what I took interest in, a few things anyway, were the new Chip McCormick magazines. And I've been using Chip McCormick magazines for a few months now, and performance, I really enjoy using them. But with the 10-rounders, especially the 10-round magazines, I physically stippled them myself so that I could achieve a better grip when drawing them. Now, when I went to the Chip McCormick booth, they showed me some new products that didn't quite have that polished finish to it, so it had a really nice grit to it. Not, an undesirable look, but definitely a grit, so you could actually hold on to that magazine, especially if your hands were wet or covered in blood, heaven forbid. You could still draw that magazine very well with the kind of grit that they had. Also, I know the AR-500 collaborated with another company and made Mandalorian armor. And for those of you who are Star Wars nerds, you will know Boba Fett wears Mandalorian type armor. And AR-500 has really put together something special, like with their actual plate carriers and extra armor pieces, as well as the speed helmets and masks that they have. It looks really, really legitimate. And AR-500 is a great company as well, just for your nice, effective armors.
Well, and that brings us to our AR-500 armor that we typically carry in the store and we also carry online. AR-500 standard armor comes in many different configurations as far as vests are concerned. But just to give you a general idea, this is a ceramic plate, and we actually shot these up on a different video that you can take a look at online. But this plate here is your standard steel armor plate. This is actually flat, but it does come in curve designs or shooter's cut designs. We shot this plate. This is multi-hit capable. This is a 3-plate, and we shot it with 9mm, which is embedded right here. It's kind of difficult to see, but we also shot it with 7.62 by 39. We shot it with 5.56 green tip, 223 green tip. We shot it with 45, 12-gauge double-odd bucks, and also 12-gauge slug. And if you take a look at the back, there was absolutely no deformity. So we sell these online with the carriers as well. The neat thing about this is that it has the extra Line-X coating on it, so all the spalling that comes off the ammunition is encapsulated into the vest itself. So you're not going to get that ricochet type effect from rounds. So we were really happy with the way this handled. The other thing that we sell as well is the standard Class 4 armor, which is right here. This is a composite, so it deforms. It's not multi-hit capable. This will stop a 30-06 round as well. So it's a real neat carrier. Real neat plate to have in your carrier, and it also weighs a lot less than the standard steel plate.
Because it's not steel.
It's not steel. It's composite, right? It's ceramic. So really neat system, and these are all NIJ certified. So we sell these online as well as the carriers. And that brings us to basically other equipment that we reviewed at the SHOT Show. And this is equipment that we actually carry in the store, and we also carry on our website. So we carry a lot of different distributors, such as Condor, AR-500, Rapid Dom or Rapid Domination, Notch Systems, and Rothco. So, and a lot of these companies, initially when they came out or were newer companies, a lot of people felt like they had substandard equipment a little bit. For instance, Rothco, initially when they came out, people kind of shied away from them because they just didn't have the professional quality that operators really look for, or even people just in the shooting industry really look for. But they've improved a great deal. I mean, a whole bunch, from
Yeah,
what we
most
saw at the
certainly.
show.
I mean, the thing about people in our line of work is that they tend to use only what they know to be good. And of course, the only way that you know that it's good is by hearsay and maybe reading reviews. And things like Rapdom and Rothco didn't have that kind of,
Fantastic.
they didn't have that prestige,
Mm-hmm.
So of course people weren't going to look into them too much, and but once we went to SHOT Show 2016, we saw these things firsthand. And instead of just being a bag here or a pair of gloves there that were good, all of our equipment, Rothco, Rapdom, and Condor especially, all have upped their game to the standards that everyone's looking for.
Right. So, I mean, our buddy here is dressed in a lot of different products that we sell. For instance, starting at the top, you've got your notch cap. Notch caps are really interesting because they have a cutout, so that's why they're called notch, for your sunglasses or for your shooting glasses up here. So you're not constantly having a fight between your hat and your shooting glasses. Very comfortable to wear. We sell these as well. This is also, this wrap right here is also sold. I believe this is a Rothco item, so very high quality. We were really impressed with it. Believe it or not, this plate carrier is also a Rothco item. So this is a professional plate carrier, can hold all your Air 500 armor plates. Our clothing here is also Rothco. So again, and our tactical team actually wears this product. So very flexible, a lot cheaper with the same quality than higher speed items. I mean, you're
Same materials. And
same
everything.
materials.
It doesn't have the name that is associated with a lot of higher quality things.
Right. So, and the other thing we established when we were over there is we became OSS dealers, and that's the operator suppressor systems, which are suppressors for your rifle. And we're going to have Nick Bierman come on and tell us about that here in just a moment. So again, we carry all this good stuff. And something else, for instance, this is a tactical messenger bag. Just to give you an idea, this is from Rapdom. Rapdom actually has a lifetime warranty on all of their products, which you very rarely find with anything. So this is something that you can take to the range. You can take on to business meetings, and it's very versatile. It's actually got a separate compartment in here for other smaller items, and it's just an overall good messenger bag if that's what you're into. It allows you to install patches up here, and it's got plenty of room for all your other items. Again, this is the Rapdom item. These are the Rapdom tactical gloves with carbon fiber knuckles. Great for the range, great for any tactical operations. We carry these, and these are relatively inexpensive. These run about $35, as opposed to buying the Oakley brand,
Right.
which run about $70, $65 to $70, and they're again excellent quality, and they have a lifetime warranty.
I plan on buying a pair at some point.
Yeah, and they have a lifetime warranty. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if anything happens to them, the grip rubs out of them or whatever, all you do is send these back to Rapdom, they'll send you a new pair.
That really is the kicker. I mean, in the line of work that you'd use these gloves in or this bag, you'd expect, much harsh wear and tear. So, you spend 5 years with this bag and all of a sudden the entire top rips off, you just set it back and get another one.
Yep, exactly. So this is another Rothco item. This is actually a larger tactical law enforcement type messenger bag. It does come in other colors. This isn't the only color it comes in, but it allows you to insert your laptop in here, obviously. It's got different MOLLE attachment systems here, so you can attach bags and all that good stuff. It's got an interior compartment, which is pretty spacious. You can put all your paperwork and pens and stuff like that. Great for the patrol car. Anyone that's in the law enforcement will really like this product. Of course, I was a policeman for a number of years, and this is something that I would have loved to have had, especially at this price. So I mean, with regards to pricing, again, you're going to get the same quality product at a much lower price than buying something that's substantially
right
brand name-ish.
And the best thing about it is it will still be replaced. If if it ever does break or something rips or whatnot, you'll just get another one for free.
Absolutely. So the Condor actually came out with the Elite Condor line, which is pretty neat as well.
Yeah, I mean their products are a little bit more expensive, but they are more geared towards the private sector as well as like SWAT teams and things like that. Especially their new what's it called, ballistic shield. It's foldable. It looks like a suitcase. It's very slimline. It doesn't look overt of any kind. Like normally you see a ballistic shield. It's this gigantic thing with flashlights on it, or sometimes. But this thing looks like a little tiny. It looks like a small messenger bag.
It looks like a messenger bag.
Yeah, but it unfolds and it's a full 3A bag. And 3A means it can take every pistol caliber. It's bulletproof to any pistol caliber up to a .44 Magnum. So it's their Elite line is definitely something to look into if you're in that line of work.
So in reference to suppressors, we're going to break for a second, and then we're going to have Nick come on here and tell you about our new agreement with Operator Suppressor Systems, as well as some of the events that we went out to SHOT Show and took part in. And we're back. We've got Nick Bierman here. He's our resident expert on suppressors. We reached a deal with OSS, which is Operator Suppressor Systems, when we were in Las Vegas at SHOT Show, and we actually ended up buying 5 cans. So this is a much different suppressor system than you may be used to. Their slogan is "Don't get baffled," and Nick can explain to you more on the difference between OSS suppressors and the previous 100 years of suppressors, more or less. Nick?
Hey, happy to be on the program. First time to be here. Glad to see you guys. What's up, YouTube? All right, look, baffles have technically been around for hundreds of years, industrial machinery and things like that. But back in the day, in approximately 1902, I believe, Henry Maxim, the guy who developed the original water-cooled machine gun, famous guy, he came up with a suppressor idea. He was going to stack baffles in a row at the end of a muzzle, and it was going to create extra back pressure, but at the same time reduce the report of the blast. And this design has been slightly updated over the years, but it's been the same for the last 110 years. That is until 2007, where the owner of OSS Suppressors came up with a new design that's more of a jet turbine instead of a traditional baffle suppressor. It's pretty impressive. It contains a coil-like system that it forces the gases out the muzzle while spiraling. And what this does immediately, you recognize, is that it's no longer throwing gas back at the shooter. Everybody who's ever used a suppressor recognizes things like gas in the face, particles coming out their bolt, and increased bolt speed. This wears down the weapon faster than normal. However, with this system, if you look at their 5.56 suppressors on their site, they say it only gives you maybe up to 5% increased bolt velocity. That's it. That's all you get. So pretty much you're getting no more wear on your weapon for the suppressor. It's very impressive. They come with 5 different modules and 5 different, I believe it's back pressure regulators. The way it works is that you can have it either with a flush mount, like a traditional suppressor where it comes off the muzzle, or you can have one piece that slides over the barrel, so you're taking up less space, and then you screw another attachment on the front of it, and they're interchangeable. So you can have a short one for a louder report, or an even longer one for more weight but lesser report. We went to Battlefield Vegas at SHOT Show, and if you ever follow any of the other blogs online, like the Firearm blog, you'll probably have seen them also do a demo with them. We paid some money, went on the range, talked to the guys, and we shot a Daniel Defense Mark 18 on semi and on full auto with their suppressors, and I gotta say, I was very impressed. They completely blacked out the range, and first shot out the suppressor, you couldn't see anything, nothing, no muzzle flash or nothing, and the report wasn't any louder either. Fired on full auto, I caught a little bit of gas back to the face, but severely less than what I would normally be used to. I was very impressed. We also shot their Barrett 50 cal there, and they had 3 of their suppressors screwed onto the end of the muzzle, and it felt like shooting like a 12 gauge shotgun. That was it. It was really smooth and a long recoil. It wasn't painful at all, and it wasn't very loud. Half of the guys weren't even wearing ears while we were shooting these things. The tech specs from the site for the 5.56, they say less than 5% increased bolt velocity, less than a half of an MOA shift for your point of impact, and less than 0.02 lux of flash. Additionally, you get 90% less backblast to the shooter, and it's lower pressure and lower temperature. I believe they said 30% lower temperature and 1/3 less increased pressure, which means we watched a video on one of their presentations they gave us, and they showed the temperature increase. And traditional baffle design, these suppressors are going up hundreds and hundreds of degrees rapidly, whereas their SRM module stayed relatively, it was only going up a few degrees at a time, and it was even throughout the suppressor. It was very impressive. Additionally, for the law enforcement customers and those who want to train using realistic gear, these suppressors allow you to use SIM and UTM ammunition through your rifles without having to change anything out. That's pretty cool. And they're completely user serviceable. I have an Advanced Armament Core 556 SD model. Problem is, I can't take it apart like a 22 suppressor. These, though, are completely serviceable in the field. The end user can take them apart and clean them whenever they want to. That's all I got for those.
So we are OSS dealers now, and it's pretty ingenious design, just as Nick specified. And something we picked up at SHOT Show was one of their OSS flash hiding muzzle brakes. And if you can zoom in on this, so if you take a look at their design, it's really ingenious. You can tell how just the muzzle brake itself has a spiraling fluted design that suppresses that pressure and also allows the gas to escape without going through the muzzle.
It's a really effective flash hider and muzzle brake combination, because just like the 3-prong flash hiders, you get you get reduced, lux coming out of the barrel, but at the same time, you've got all the holes that are ported in the side, so it acts as a muzzle brake in all directions.
Yeah, so they have a flush mount which goes actually over top of the flash suppressor itself. So the flash suppressor stays on your weapon, and the flush mount actually screws, the suppressor itself actually screws onto the flash hider, and then they have a over the barrel mount which basically just plugs right onto your barrel, and it's pretty interesting. I think with a retaining screw or ring or something.
Yeah, to use the over the barrel mount, you need to have 4 inches of barrel from where your muzzle crown is back. So most of your normal M4 SOCOM models and pretty much any weapon with 4 inches of clearance behind it will be fine. And then once that's on there, then you can interchange your signature reduction modules as you want to, whether it's none at all, a short one, or a long one.
The best thing about these is anybody can buy them. All you need is a tax stamp. Selling to law enforcement is literally direct sale. So law enforcement buys them through us, and we get it shipped directly to the law enforcement agency. So.
Hey, another one of the things we saw at SHOT Show this year was Cobalt Kinetics. They came out with a new CARS system, which is, most people are used to seeing modifications to the upper receiver, but this is a modification to a lower receiver. It's their proprietary lower receiver design, and it stands for Cobalt Advantage Reload System. And the way it works is that now it's essentially taking out the shooter. All you got to do is pull the trigger and make sure you load a magazine, because the way it works now is that when you load a magazine, you send the bolt forward, and then when the follower on top of the magazine reaches the point where there's no more rounds left, the system will automatically disengage the magazine and drop it, leaving a round in the chamber and the operator free to reload a fresh magazine. Additionally, now the bolt can be locked back with one hand. There's no more switch on the side. So essentially, it speeds up your reloads. It makes every reload a speed reload while being able to retain a round in the chamber. Pretty cool. That's all.
So one of the fantastic experiences we had in Las Vegas for a side trip, which was Adventure Combat Ops. Great company. Depending on what you want to do there, obviously the price varies, but essentially we took part of our tactical team, went down there, and they do essentially glass house drills at first. If you're not familiar with what that is, that's basically movement drills with a tactical team, or just as individuals, or a 3 or 4 man team, depending on your group size. It's taught by special operators, military operators, and then once you get in tune with that, you're issued gear, and you basically go into a zombie apocalypse. And it's basically a quarter to a half mile full of different houses and structures that are built with explosions and dynamic entry, kicking in doors, and you're basically battling live zombie role players. And it's a really, really, really neat experience. If you're going to be in Vegas, I highly recommend it. It's open to anybody. You don't have to be a tactical team guy. You don't have to be an operator. You can just be a regular Joe citizen. That's actually where they get most of their clientele. It's high pressure, high adrenaline experience. And of course, at the end, you can get pictures of what you did there. So I'm happy to call those guys our friends, and we had a blast there. So remember, check out Adventure Combat Apps in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, and they sell energy drinks.
And they sell energy drinks.